Have the Humboldt County Bigfoot again, and we've covered it in other episodes. And also talking about, I'm relating to how potential attacks by Bigfoot, or just how dangerous a Bigfoot is, and what their temperament is as compared to a chimpanzee. And I was going to relate a story about a chimpanzee in a zoo. I'm not sure what the zoo was. It means it can be looked up, but it's for the sake of the story, it's unimportant. And a gentleman was noticing a chimpanzee drowning in the moat of the chimpanzee exhibit. And he leaps over the fence and he saves the chimpanzee and he brings him to shore. And then somehow, I'm not exactly sure, and it's confusing to me, the guy, because a lot of reporters should that are actually reporting on the story, and that's the only way I know about it is from their reports, but they leave out chunks of information that I'd be curious about. Well, what about this? What about that? And they don't seem to have the same level of curiosity. But the guy that saved the chimpanzee out of the moat was somehow able to get out of the exhibit. Well, if a human can get out of the exhibit, and he got out of the exhibit in time to be saved from the other chimps that were going to just rip him to shreds, adult chimpanzees. But how did he get out when chimpanzees, even though they're shorter, they seem to be much more agile? I mean, they would be the athletes if they were, given human status, and they were allowed to play professional sports. Chimpanzees would just completely take over. How could a human get out of the exhibit? But the chimpanzees that were just gonna, and maybe it was the moat or whatever, they couldn't have traversed the moat or whatever. But the human got out of a chimpanzee exhibit. It doesn't make any sense at all. And gorillas seem to be less violent. I mean, I've heard stories where they bite off people's fingers or their feet or whatever, but they don't seem to be as malicious as chimps, like ripping off face. And maybe, like I say, if there's primatologists that can give more on this, I'd like to hear it. But I'll talk about this next episode. There's a gorilla that there was a kid, like 5 years old or however old he was, under 10. He fell into a gorilla exhibit, and we'll talk about the next episode.